everyone. I am here at the Bible study. I hope you guys are having a good night. Tonight, I believe we're in the book of Psalms. Psalm 62. The devotion tonight is by Jeanette Lavelli. And the verse she picked out to go with her devotion is Psalm 62, verse 1, which says, "Truly my soul finds rest in God. My salvation comes from Him." Amen. All right, so let's mark our place there. And I'll go to the Bible and read to you all of Psalm 62. It's a short one as well. You know, it's compared to the other ones. Like Psalm 119, this is a short one. For the director of music, for Jonathan, a song of David. You can't get no more beautiful than the Psalms of David, in my opinion. My favorite. My soul finds rest in God alone. My salvation comes from Him. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will never be shaken. How long will you assault a man? Would all of you throw him down, this leaning wall, this tottering fence? They fully intend to topple him from his lofty place. They take delight in lies. With their mouths they bless, but in their hearts they curse. Selah. A lot of people do that, don't they? A lot of people do that. Listen to what David says again. This happens so often with people. So often. With their mouths they bless. With their mouths they'll say good things to you, act like they like you. But in their hearts they curse. But inside they really can't stand you and they wish bad for you. Find rest, O my soul, in God alone. God will never do that to you. He's always with you and will always love you. He'll never try to hurt you. My hope comes from Him, from God. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will not be shaken. My salvation and my honor depend on God. He is my mighty rock, my refuge. Trust in Him at all times, O people. Pour out your hearts to Him. For God is our refuge, Selah. Low-born men are but a breath. The high-born are but a lie. If weighted on a balance, they are nothing. Together, they are only a breath. Do not trust in extortion or take pride in stolen goods. Though your riches increase, do not set your heart on them. One thing God has spoken, two things have I heard, that you, O God, are strong, and that you, O God, are loving. Surely you will reward each person according to what he has done. And He will. Well, all of us, me included, all of us, the best person in the world you think you know, that's the holiest person. All of us will answer to God for what we've done, good and bad. Even these priests and stuff, like Catholic priests or pastors of our churches, you know, they're supposed to be holy and really close to God. All of them aren't, and we're all sinners. They're not saints either. Only Jesus is perfect. We're all sinners. We'll all answer for the good and the bad. I can just see, like, some people that's had near-death experiences that I've watched. And you know that it's true. I believe in near-death experiences. And I know it's true because this one guy, he was a Satanist. He sacrificed stuff to Satan and everything. He hated God. He worshipped Satan. Well, something happened. I don't know if it was a drug overdose or something. I think it was a drug overdose, and he died and went to hell. And, you know, a lot of crazy stuff happened and he was tormented, begging to get out. And Jesus took him out of there and gave him a second chance, took his black heart out of his body and replaced it with a new heart. And now he's praising the Lord. He's not a Satanist anymore. He's praising the Lord, changed his whole life around. And he was like covered in bad tattoos, you know, some satanic stuff. He loves the Lord now. Loves the Lord. Because the Lord, in this 1 near-death experience, because I can picture that happening to all of us when we die. Jesus or God showing us when we die how our life was in heaven, showing us clips of it and stuff that we done wrong or things that we did right that affected other people. Like here, your actions here. See what it done to this person over here. How it made them feel. Look what you said or what you did made this brother or sister of yours feel. This child of mine. Look how you hurt them by doing or saying what you did. Or this wonderful thing you did for this person over here. It changed their whole life and you didn't even know it. You know? I believe it's going to be like that. And it was that one person's near-death experience. Jesus showed her how her life affected other people, what she had done. So that was all of Psalm 62. Okay, so now I will read Janetta's devotion. Okay. She says, word of the year is a popular practice these days. With God's help, you choose a word from the upcoming year and then focus on living that word for the next 12 months. Ever heard of that? This year, I chose the word rest. But a few months into the year, I started to think, I missed God's voice. I've done everything but rest. I was offered several new ministry opportunities, ones I prayed for. I'm so thankful for these open doors, Lord, but how can I rest when my schedule is this packed? Jesus used a comment from my friend Beth to change my perspective. She said maybe the Lord wants to teach you how to rest in Him, regardless of how full your schedule is. Of course, that was how Jesus functioned. As I pondered His life, I realized Jesus did all God called Him to do, but never became stressed. Became sad a lot. You know He did. Lonely and sad. I can't imagine Jesus clapping His hands in impatience and shouting at His disciples, come on you guys, row this boat faster. No, I can't see Him doing that either. We have to get across the Sea of Galilee before noon. We have 65 healings to perform and a crowd to feed before the sun goes down. His sense of joyous peace came from within, the deep places in His heart where He often fellowshiped with God in prayer. Jesus was always praying, and he always went alone to pray to God. He done that all the time. I rarely had the luxury of sitting in an empty room and meditating or taking a leisurely walk in the woods, but I can always, as I teach a child to pray, exercise, visit the sick, or do homework, connect with the Lord. His presence is where I find the sweetest rest. Amen. Because when you're doing that stuff, like teaching a child to pray, very wonderful thing, very wonderful thing. Or visiting the sick. You're doing God's work there. He's very proud of you because you're helping His children. You're helping the ones he loves. What Jesus say? What you do to the least of these, brothers and sisters of mine, you do to me. So whatever you're going to think, whatever you do or say to anybody, it's like you doing or saying that to the Lord. So if somebody makes you mad, I know it's hard when you're mad, you just blurt out what you want to say, or you want to get revenge. But you got to practice not to. It's hard, but you got to practice not to. You'll get better and better at it. This part here where it says visit the sick really gets to me because, I never really thought of it before. It never even crossed my mind. But when I was in the hospital with COVID for several days, no visitors were allowed or anything. And I had never stayed alone from home or alone before. I'd never stayed in the hospital like that, and never having any visitors anywhere. That was all new to me, and I was scared. I was really, really lonely. I missed Sherm a lot. And Sherm was sick too, so I was worried about him. And I just kept laying there thinking, these poor people that are here don't have nobody coming in to see them. And some of them, the nurses told me, a lot of the people in there were elderly. They couldn't believe I was in there being so young. They kept asking me my age because they said most of the people there were 70s, 80s, and up. And a lot of them didn't have no families at all. Didn't have nobody to even call and talk to on the phone. And I know how lonely I was in there. And then I thought, when I do finally get out of here, some of these people are still going to be in here having nobody. Not even anybody to talk to on the phone. I wish there was a way the hospital would let us have addresses to write to them, or their phone numbers, so we can call and just talk to them. The ones who don't have nobody, They're picky with that kind of stuff. But I really thought about that then when I was in there, because it was the loneliest I've ever felt in my life. I wanted to get out of there so bad. I begged the doctor every day to let me out. They didn't want to let me out the day they finally let me out. I thank God they let me out. I was so happy to get home. They had told me some people that were in there, they were elderly, remember? They said some people had been in there months from COVID. That's having no visitors whatsoever. None of their family can see them, if they had any left. Months. And trust me, you didn't get excellent care. You did not get excellent care. I could tell you stories of stuff that I went through in there. It was freaking awful. It was awful. There was two people that treated me really, really well. And I sent them both thank you cards too. I don't know if they ever got them or not. But I put my address on them, but nobody ever responded. And I don't know if the hospital even gave them to them. But they were really, really nice to me. But other people were very rude and didn't want to fool with you or help you. And it scares me for the people that are still in there, seeing how they treated me, knowing that they're treating other people that way. Like when you push the call button, they're like, if you have to go to the bathroom, don't go by yourself, push the call button. So you push the call button, nobody answers. You wait and wait and wait for somebody to answer. I swear it was like an hour or 2 hours. And I waited like 10, 20 minutes, and I had to unplug everything on my body. The heart monitor, the oxygen, everything, and go to the bathroom by myself. And then come and hook myself back up, and then like an hour or 2 hours later, they said, can I help you? I said, no, I've already got it taken care of. That happened all the time. And I'm thinking, what if that happens to somebody they push the call button for help because they're in there choking or something, and they don't get a response, and they fell on the floor, or they're in there gasping for air because they're choking on their food or whatever. And then they'll come in and be like, oh, they died in their sleep. We came in and found them dead in their sleep. That's a lie. You push the call button and they don't respond. Somebody could be in there choking to death and dying, or falling on the floor and can't get up. It was awful. When they leave you, they don't change. I wore the same gown. I was in there 6 or 7 days, remember? They put a gown on me in the emergency room, and nobody gave me a clean gown, a bath, or anything the whole time I was in there. Nothing. If you have an accident, you know, because you got with COVID, you have severe diarrhea and everything. If you have an accident, they just leave you set in it for hours. I could go on and on. I was so glad to get out of there. I'm so glad. I just feel sorry for the people that still has to be in there. They need somebody, you know, they need to know God is with them, and they have people that care about them. Because most of the people in the hospital do not. That one little girl, the tech, she was so sweet. I only got to see her twice before I left. She was on night shift. She was so sweet. She reminded me of Abby, my niece, so much. Because she's just a tiny little girl. Tiny little thing, you know. And here I am, big and huge. I was trying to get out of bed one night to go to the bathroom, and I still had severe diarrhea. I'm still fighting it. I'm still fighting the diarrhea all these months later. I still ain't over the COVID. But anyway, I was trying to get out of bed, and I almost fell. And she was like, tried to catch me like that. About freaked out. There ain't no way she could have caught me. Oh my God, I would have squashed her for sure. But it was so cute. She's like, oh, my heart stopped. I said, I can just picture Abby being there saying the exact same thing. I said, you remind me of my niece so much. But luckily, you know, I caught myself and I didn't fall. But she was so nice. If I asked for a water or ice or something, she would go get it and come right back in and bring it to me. Anybody else, I would ask for them something to drink. They'd say they'd get it and they'd never come back. So I'd ask the next person that came in. They'd say they would and they'd never come back. Or they'd say, I'm not allowed to get it. My lips were so dry and cracked. My mouth was so dry that when I did get the water, I couldn't even hardly suck the straw. That's how dry my mouth was and my lips. But that little girl always gave it to me. She's so sweet. She's the kind of people that need to be in that job. And she was just a tech. She wasn't even a nurse. She was a sweetheart. I loved her a lot. She always called me Buddy. Hey, Buddy, she'd come in and say. Okay, your homework tonight from Jeanette is today, instead of listening to the radio as you drive somewhere, listen to Jesus. Sing him a song of praise and then hear his loving response in your heart. I would love to do that, but Sherm won't let me listen to the radio when we go somewhere.
It says listen to Jesus.
Yeah, but it says sing him a song of praise and hear.
You sing a song of praise with the radio.
Well, I need it.
You don't need the radio.
Sherm don't like it when I sing. I love to sing.
You
Always
need
have.
the radio.
Is it got a cassette player in it?
Nope.
Oh, I want to get that Anne Marie tape.
Nope. Don't have a radio. I mean,
My
cassette player.
hand, oh Jesus, take my hand.
Come on.
Oh, see,
Wrap
there
it
he
up.
goes. There
Wrap
he
it
goes.
up. Come on.
He never lets me sing. All right, the next Bible study, wow. We're going back to the Old Testament again. We'll be in the second book of the Bible, the book of Exodus. So let's mark, I'll have to go get that set up for sure. Now everybody pick your animal. I believe the title to this one reveals what it is as well. Wait, what's today, the 9th? Yes, it tells what it is. So go ahead and let me know what your animal is before we get started. give you guys a hint. This one has wings. Wings, 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 wings.
All kinds of things have wings.
I know. Pick your poison.
Turkey.
Turkey for sure. Layla? Let me know.
Gobble, gobble.
Okay, this one is by Liz Kimmel. And the Bible verse is Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. That's what I should have reminded myself when I was in the hospital. I should have took my Bible with me and read it, but I didn't know I was going to have to stay there when I went. It was horrible. Okay, this one's called Bethany's Bat. It's a bat, you guys. A bat. Bats have gotten a pretty bad rap because of so many misconceptions about them. They are often found in scary movies. They're not the kind of creature you'd want to cuddle or have as a pet, but they do a great job of keeping the mosquito population in check, among other duties. We don't see much of them in this city where I live, but we do occasionally notice evidence of their presence in the eaves of our homes. My family had recently moved, and our 5-year-old daughter was trying to accustom herself to new sights and sounds, especially at night. We had all settled into our beds for the night when she raced across the hallway and pushed her way into our room, hollering, "Dad, there's a duck in the attic." There's a duck in the attic. Oh my God.
Quack, quack.
I wonder why she thought it was a duck. Her bedroom at the front of the house had an attic access stairway. When she heard a scratching noise coming from behind the door, she inched it open and peeked inside. She saw what she thought was a web-footed nestled among blankets in a laundry basket. Thought it was a duck in a laundry basket. I'm so thankful that fear was not her first response. She felt safe, even in an unfamiliar setting. She was more startled than scared and ran to tell us the news. I have not probably had any potentially frightening experiences with scary animals, though a gerbil did bite my finger once. But I have had plenty of other opportunities to feel afraid, driving on Minnesota roads in the winter, concern about finances, health challenges, and more. The best thing I can do in those times is to remember that I am never alone, no matter the situation. What, didn't you go check the attic? I want to know the rest of the story. That's the end. That's the end. I want to know, did you go check? Was there a duck in a laundry basket? Was there a bat in the laundry basket? What's going on? Did they even go check? I want to know the rest of the story.
There's a duck in the attic.
I hate when it stops like this. And I'm going to let that ring and I'll call back. I don't know how to turn it off, guys.
Just hit the off button.
Okay, I muted it in here. Okay, God, it is so good to know that we are secure in your presence. Though we live in a fallen world, we know that your arms of protection are always around us. Thanks for staying on watch, even in the dark of night. Amen. Amen. All right. So the next story does not tell in the title what it is, so that's really good. Let's see if I can find out. Oh, yeah, I know what it is. Okay. So I'm going to go get the Bible set up to Exodus. What did I say? Exodus what? Exodus 16. Exodus 16. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again soon with another Bible study. Bye guys. God bless. Hope you have a good night's sleep.